Are you a creative? A person who loves to create things, make things, and you're also spiritual? Well, have you been struggling to be in that creative flow, that creative power? Because that flow comes from that creative power, that source of all that is. Well, if you are, you've landed in the right place, because my spirit guide, Mother of Sincerity, guided me to share with you the missing component that blocks creative flow, that unleashes unleashes your creative flow, your creative power. And without this, your creative flow gets blocked, is more precise what she's saying. So she's going to be coming in and telling me what it is to share with you. Because one of the things she really wants you to get is that you're this divine being, this divine soul, that you are meant to be creative. You are meant to be connected to higher power. And so that this component she wants me to share with you is vital to unleashing that power. So we're going to invite in and create that sacred space to allow the spirit guides to come in, because more spirit guides actually came and wanted me to put and be here with us today, or with you today, okay? So if you're finding this, you're going to find the spirit guides are wanting to help you unleash your creative power, your creative flow, because it not only helps you in what you want to create as an artist, whether you're a painter, a writer, a woods person, a knitter, whatever it is you love to make and create, that creative power is within you, outside of you, all around you, and it is also important in anything you want to be successful in, whether it's spiritual growth, getting those intuitive downloads, having a successful business, or career advancement. This creative power is an important component for you, okay? And so we're going to talk about that missing component that blocks that flow, and we'll open it up, unleash it when you actually do this. All right? So let's get going. We're going to do this a little bit differently. Usually I have us ring the bell and invite in spirit. We're going to light the candle first. I'm really getting guided to light the ghee lamp first. We're lighting this ghee lamp, lighting the light, Mother of Sincerity told me, that's within you, because that light is the essence of your creative flow. And so you light this creative, this flame to affirm this light within yourself. And she really wants you to focus on, I am light today, okay? To focus on the creative flame that's within you, around you, and all there. All right? So now let's ring the bell and invite in Mother of Sincerity and any of my other spirit guides. I want to share with you the missing component that will unleash your creative flow, your creative power, so that you can be in that unabiding creative flow to create what you're here to create, whether it's in art, whether it's in your life. But that creation energy is what allows you to be who you came here to be, do what you came here to do, and have what you came here to have. All right, so as I ring this bell, I want you to say hello. Hello to whatever higher power you want to invite in, but also I'm going to be saying hello to Mother of Sincerity, and to whatever other spirit guide may want to be here today to share with you that missing component. Because just knowing what that missing component they're saying is not the only thing. It's about how do you actually apply what that missing component is. So let's ring this bell. Hello, Mother of Sincerity. Hello to higher power. Hello, God. Hello, Mother of Healing. She's coming through today too. And hello, Mother of Forgiveness. They're saying that all three of them want to come, like a trifecta, to come and help you with this missing component so you can unleash your creative power, your creative flow, and create the art that you wish to create, but most importantly, to create the life that you came here to create. And they really want you to get that the creativity of what the art you want to create is important. It can change people's lives. It can inspire them. It can help them. It can, you know, make them think that they can do something that maybe you didn't know. But we're creative beings, and so they're saying that it's important that you get, though, that it's about creating the life that you truly desire. So thank you to everybody who's introducing themselves. I'm going to check in with you a little bit later just to see. Feel free to put up questions. I will go back and look at it. Right now, I'm being guided to light this Palo Santo. I usually do it. But this Palo Santo is about, you know, allowing ourselves to release anything that is no longer serving us and to invite in the spirit guides. And it's about, I always say, the sacred space that's within our physical space, but most importantly, within your inner space. Because it is that sacred space within you that is where all creation begins. And that begins with what? The level of consciousness that you're at, the thoughts and words that you're at, of what you think, what you believe, what you speak. All of those begin to create your life. And so Mother of Sincerity is coming in, and she says that the missing component to really start to unleash your creative power is healing. Healing. And you're going to go, how does that open up my creative power? But what she said was it's the healing of your lack beliefs that prevent you to be in that creative flow. And so she was talking about that, that the healing, people avoid healing is what she's saying. And the reason why she says that she wanted to bring in Mother of Healing and Mother of Forgiveness is because in order to heal, you have to be willing to go into the darkness of everything you haven't been willing to look at. And she said the most important thing, though, that you need to heal is that voice of not enough. Right? Do you have that? I'd love to see it if you do have that. Most people have it, that in some area you feel like you're not enough. Okay? Now, that not enough is probably I'm not good enough. And now how that shows up is what Mother of Sincerity is saying is it's different for every person. That not enough might be worry about what other people will think. That not enough might worry about you're not good enough to do it, okay? It also could be that's not possible, okay? That belief when you think something's not possible, because that's what needs to be healed. The limiting beliefs block your creative flow. It blocks the ability to connect with spirit, because what is the true component that makes everything in the world, that's creating everything, is higher power, is spirit, is God, the spirit guides, whatever you call that higher power, okay? That is where that creative flow resides. And when you have limiting beliefs and are unwilling to look at what the darkness of what you're afraid of, it blocks everything. And so healing is the missing component. And it's about healing not your physical body, but your consciousness. Okay, and she says this is really important. You heal your consciousness with the false limiting beliefs that you think things are a certain way that they don't have to be. And so one of the things she's talking about with that healing, you want to heal the belief that you have to follow the rules. So she's saying you heal the belief of following the rules of what they say art is. You heal the belief of how art has to be done. Of, you know, there's like rules of thirds and things like that. She says you want to throw that all out the window. And you want to come from what's true. And now she's saying this is why the heart chakra angel showed up. Because the heart chakra angel is all about helping you to get into what's true in your heart. And so Mother of Sincerity talks about how you have to do what's true in your heart, that the way you're sincere is when you're true to you. So if you're watching this, if you've come on, even if for a minute or two, you must need to hear that for you about you need to like Have I been true to myself? Okay, because you need to heal when you haven't been. Heal the belief that makes you think you have to do something that's not true for you, because it stops the creative flow. So the missing component is the willingness to actually consider that there's something to be healed, because most people want to avoid the very thing they're afraid of. So you have to be willing to go, what's that limiting belief that's been stopping me from moving forward? What's that limiting belief that's making it so I can't be connected to higher power and let it flow through me to create on my canvas? Because it is through that healing that it will awaken your ability to connect with higher power, your spirit guides, spirit, okay? And so she's saying that one of the biggest beliefs that stops you is the worry about what other people will think, especially when you create art, okay? The worry about what other people will think, and behind that worry about what other people will think is the worry of, can I do it? Am I good enough? See, because you wouldn't worry about what other people thought if you actually thought you were good enough, that you knew you could complete it, you knew it was good. So that healing of, she's also saying the healing of letting that judgmental voice rule what you do. And so she's talking about how if you make decisions because you think you're judging your own work and saying, oh, it's not good enough to be out there. Oh, this is crummy. Oh, so-and-so is better. And she's saying this, she says, you want to heal the belief that you're supposed to compare yourself to another artist, another person, other people's work, okay? Because that will cut off all ability to be in the creative flow. And that creative power, she's saying that, and she's letting me know, she's talking about healing because she knows the healing needs to happen, and it's the thing everybody avoids. But she's saying that that thing that really unleashes the creative power is your connection, your awareness, your awakened self in being open to that divine guidance that can flow through you. Not can, does flow through you. She says it flows through you 24/7. It's just a matter of whether you're actually listening or paying attention. And here's the thing, is understanding. She's saying that it's like speaking, if you speak to someone who speaks another language, you might be listening and hearing the words, but you don't know what they're saying because you don't speak that language. So if you only speak English and someone speaks French or Chinese or Italian and you don't speak those, you're going to hear the words, but you won't understand. And she's saying in order to actually receive the divine guidance, you have to understand the language that is being spoken to you, and that has to do with how you're wired. I had no idea she was going to say all this. I was just guided to put up the missing component to unleash your creative power. And I knew it was part with creativity of painting, but it's also the creativity of your creative power to create your life. And she's saying this is really important. When you actually start to believe that you get to create your life, you start to know that you can create the art that flows through you. Because if you know anything about manifestation, they say, and I believe this, okay, that everything already exists. We're just tuning into the ethers of that on that energetic plane, and then it comes through us for us to create something, okay? So the missing component is your willingness to actually heal what is keeping you stuck. And she's saying that most important thing that you need to heal is the false belief that you're not good enough, that you're not enough, okay? Now, again, I'm going to repeat it because she's wanting me to, that may show up for you as perfectionism. I haven't used that one before. She says it could show up as perfectionism. It could show up as comparison, that you're comparing to someone else, that you're judging your work. You know, all that is coming from that belief you're not enough. Okay, so you compare, you judge, you criticize. She's saying you're trying to be perfect because, again, if you're going to be chasing that perfectionism forever. So she's saying that the healing of those types of not good enough is what will open you up, where the creative flow just comes through. And she's saying the big form of not enough that you need to heal is that you have to be perfect before you let someone see what you're doing. Okay, that you have to be perfect or excellent before you actually can talk about what you're doing. Because like often you meet people who won't identify, and I had this too, you know, well, I wouldn't identify as an artist because I didn't feel good enough for a long time. I thought, well, this is what I do. I get these downloads, but, I'm not like a Monet or something, So I judged it. And then it was like, you know what? How can I heal that judging of my work, of whether it's good or bad, and just go, this is what I'm being guided to put on the canvas, or to write in your book, or to make your word work, or to knit, whatever it is, but to get into that vibration of, this is what I'm here to do. Now, what she's saying is, the reason why this is important for your art, your projects, your work, your medium, but it's also important in your life. And this is what she wants me to really share that's super important, is you want to start seeing that you have this creative power within you to create the life that you desire. To stop feeling like a victim to what's happening in your life, but to go, I need to heal the habit of putting my attention on what I don't want and put it on what you do want. Okay? Because when you put it on what you want, what your heart's desires are, there's no conflict within you. When you can actually get yourself to go, I believe in this. Because she's saying the reason why people don't or aren't in the creative flow is they've been programmed. They have habits that make them think that they're supposed to focus on all the things they need to worry about. What didn't happen, what worried, what somebody did wrong, what you didn't do. Do you have that, a list of things to do, and you focus all on what you didn't do rather than what you did do? Okay? She said you got to heal that habit that makes you look at that, and you want to focus your energy on the desired thing that you want. So with the art, you want to focus on what you're wanting to create, the blessings in the world. So whether it's you do word work, knitting, painting like I do, and creating spirit guides, like for me, I create the spirit guides with the idea that I want them to bless you with the blessings from that particular spirit guide, with the intuitive download that comes to me of why I'm creating it, because each one comes with the blessing they're wanting to bring into the planet. But if you do knitting or you play music, a guitar, like if you're creating a song, you create that what? Because you want somebody to feel something, right? Or to experience something. If you create even something where you knit, and you give someone a hat that you knitted, what do you want him to feel? Like, oh, wow, this person made me this great thing. But you can also have an intention that maybe they feel loved. So for me, I always want to create blessings in the world where you feel like you've been graced by some of the divines, love, joy, peace, any of their aspects, there's 7 of them, and that you feel blessed maybe with some wisdom, the wisdom to see the truth in what they're guiding me to share with you so that it can make your life better. Because I want to help you to create that life that you love, help you to be the person that you came here to be, that creative, spiritual seeker that's wanting to grow spiritually. Create what you love to create, because you're meant to be creating and to have what you want to have. So it's all there. Oh, Lavaria, she said hello and goodbye all together. All right. So anyway, don't see any questions up there. Olivaria, if you ever come back, say hello. I'll say hello to you again. I'll always like to see you there. So we're going to actually paint today on these healing hands that I've been working on. Oh, hi, Olivaria, you're back. Okay. Yeah, so thank you for coming. I always like seeing you. We're going to paint on the healing hands, and we'll see if Mother of Sincerity or any of the other spirit guides that asked to be here today are going to say more about this unleashing your creative power, your creative flow. They've said this before, but they're saying it again. This isn't the missing component, but they're going to add some of the things that can help. What they're saying, okay, the missing component, they're saying that people don't look at to be in the creative flow is about the willingness to heal their false beliefs and their habits of looking at what they don't want. Okay, it's the healing word is the missing component. But she's saying that in that process of healing, what helps is the willingness to go, I'm going to experiment, okay? I'm going to experiment with what I'm going to do today. And so you experiment. You got internet issues, Olivario? Not fun. So you want to be willing to experiment in your creative projects, but also in your life. So instead of looking like at every decision in your life as this major decision thing that if I don't make the right decision, oh no, it's going to mess everything up, you start to be willing to experiment and willing to go, get curious. So I think I talked about this a little bit, about curiosity and willingness in what I learned from the ghee lamp, and they wanted me to share that with you. That's an episode where I break it down more, but they really are saying about the missing component also is that allows healing is having the energy of experimentation, curiosity, and they're saying fun. Feel the fear and do it anyways. So true, Olivario. I'm a believer in that. I have definitely it's one of the things, it's so funny you said that, Oliver. One of the things I talk about with if you get intuitive downloads and you're really wanting to get more intuitive downloads or trust your intuition is most people think that when you get intuitive guidance that you're never going to feel fear. And you will. Not in the moment when you're receiving it. You'll receive it and you'll be like, that feels right. That feels like the right thing. But when you get into the world and you're like, okay, how am I going to actually do that guidance? Then fear will come up. It's what happened for me when I got the guidance to put on my website that I can do personal spirit guide portals for people where I can tune into somebody's energy. Was the first thing that happened was it felt right, so I did it because I was at a place in my life where I followed my divine guidance. But once I had to come and do it for somebody, when somebody was finally interested, I was like, oh no, like what's gonna happen if I can't do it? Because I'd never done it before. Even though I'd gotten the guidance of like how I was supposed to do it, I was concerned that what if I couldn't. So I basically just thought, well, the worst case scenario is if I can't do it, I give the person their money back. And so that helped me to like go, okay, I can move forward. So it's like what you said, Alvaro, you feel the fear and you do it anyway. And sometimes you have to work with yourself of how can I feel the fear and do it anyway? Because sometimes it can make people feel like they can't move forward on it when they have fear. It makes them so fearful that it makes them go into freeze mode. You have fight, flight, or freeze. Well, they'll either run away or they freeze rather than fight, and that will make it so they can't move forward on it. So, I'm going to do something here in the background. I'm going to get a little paint and mix it. And do a little painting. If you're still on, Oliver, I'm curious, do you have, and you might have told me, but I can't remember, do you have a medium that you use? What creative thing do you like to do? Is there anything Anybody? I love to share. I love it when people share what they do in their creativity, how they. Oh, you like to paint, mainly seascapes with boats. Wow, that's very cool. Do you use oil or do you use acrylic? I don't know if I've mentioned to you, I use oil paints. I love them because I love doing some mixing on the canvas a lot of times. We're going to do something here that I was guided to do. I think it's going to make it, like, initially to my ego, not look good. But we're going to do it anyway because this is what I'm being guided to do. And often, even when I look at the color and think, oh, this is going to look terrible, it always ends out adding to the depth and the range of the spirit guide. And that's the thing when you want to unleash the creative power is, yeah, you have to heal those voices, which will actually, will open up so much more for you. But it's about the willingness to let yourself make a mistake. What you think is a mistake, because what they're saying is there really is no mistake in the world. And everything is there for your benefit. It's there to help you grow. You need that lesson in life, whatever it is, even if you don't like it. It's what you need. And you want to love yourself in that what you need and not be judging yourself that maybe you took a longer, more circuitous route to get there. Oh, you painted acrylic. Biggest interest is creating creams. Don't really think I know what that is, but I see you're creating acrylics. Yeah, I find more people painting acrylics than anything. I like to have them take a little longer to dry so I can play with the different colors. If I put this in here tight enough, it seems to be moving. Tighten this up. There we go. Don't want the canvas moving on me. So I'm curious, Olivera, do you ever have feel creatively stagnant or have problems with getting into your creative flow, or no? You like it's simply simple for you? I'm always curious how many people have problems with that, and I'd love it if anybody's watching this, if they'd share, like, do they have problems with being in creative flow? Like, I don't have problems because I'm always for me, I get the downloads in my meditation, so I don't have problems with enough of what I want to paint. But I have challenges making it a priority in the sense of my practical logical programming can come in and take over and tells me I need to do the computer work, I need to do this work, I need to, I need to send out the email instead of paint. And I'm still working on that. I'm a work in progress with that. I'd love to hear if any of you guys have any challenges like that. Emulsion. You got a father that paints too, so you've got. So do you have any challenges with being in that creative flow, Olivario? No, it's like not a problem for you. I'd love it if anyone who sees this, even in the, if you're live but you don't want to share, or if you see it later in the recording, that I'd love to see if anyone has that challenge. I'm backing up because I want to see what this looks like. Sometimes when you get too close, you can't really tell. So come back in, go out of the frame. You do, under stress at work. Yeah, that can do it. This vision I had of these hands, I had it actually quite a while ago, and I never finished it or never did it because I don't know why. Sometimes I get these visions and then I don't jump on it right away, and then it seems like time gets away from me. So yeah. And I don't really even have an excuse, Olivario. This is my business. I create personal spirit guide portals people. I mentor people with, when they want to either maybe they want to be creative and actually have a business with it, or they want to bring more of the spiritual aspects into their business, or they're ready to take a leap on their purpose. I do that, but sometimes the coaching part with the practical things will take over. You paint when you feel free. Is that like when you think you have free time, or that you're waiting to be inspired? Because that's the thing is, Mother of Sincerity is talking about how like that creative flow is here all the time. It's just our false limiting beliefs of what we believe prevent us from thinking that we're actually in the flow, because we always are. What do you think the letter M means? I'm assuming you mean that you're seeing it, but it's not, you didn't put an M there. So what do you think that means? Kind of, to me, the Mother of Sincerity is the one who guided me to do this topic. And she was really talking about the importance of how she says, I really want people to start to understand they need to be in this creative flow, this creative power, because it really is always here. I'm supposed to, here it is. And this creative power, you want to be able to unleash it for your creative work, but mostly she's saying to be able to create the kind of life you want. So if there's any area of your life that you're not satisfied with, that you wish would be different, better, whether it's I want a different career, I want more money, I want my relationship to get better, she's saying that you have that creative power to actually make it different. But in order to do that, you have to really ask yourself, what do you need to heal to allow the creative flow, the creative power to come through? So she's talking about that. She's saying, I'm going to mix this in. It's weird. So a little bit of blue got in there. We're going to see what happens. Oh, okay, the creases area. Oh, that kind of is cool. Yeah, that it all of a sudden becomes visible that way. Yeah, maybe Mother of Sincerity is speaking to you, wanting you to connect with her. Have you ever been one who has a relationship with Mother Mary in her different forms? I'm curious, Olivario. Or anybody else can also share if someone else is on. Oh, you want to involve your intuition to help others. How do you want to do that? Like, you want to give readings, or you want, like, I don't do readings. I do the mentoring coaching, but I help people develop and trust their intuition, because I really believe the higher guidance that we get is important. You know, the spirit guides come through to give us the higher guidance that we need when we can't see through our own muck, you know. And the challenge is, how do you actually trust it enough to act on it? Ah, I'm empathic. I'm an empath too, Olivario. So if you're an empath, I don't know if you've gone on my channel. I have some videos up there specifically for empaths. But because I'm an empath, you know, everything I'm teaching at some level, I just don't always point out that when I'm doing the video. I often share from my experience. And what do you do to develop your consciousness? Olivario, because you mentioned that you work to develop your consciousness, so I always say it's a practice. You know, our higher consciousness is always there. It's just a matter of, are we putting our attention on it? Are we choosing that moment to be awake in it? And sometimes the answer is yes, and sometimes the answer is no, right? Do you have a specific practice to develop your consciousness, Olivario, or? Oh, you work with your spirit guides. All right. You're up my alley. What spirit guide do you work with? I have several that come to me. Mother of Sincerity has been coming through to me a lot lately. But I also have a ballerina fairy, whoops, that has been always telling me to dance through life with joy, because I've always loved, well, I came in on the joy vibration, but I've also loved dancing, but it's not always literally dancing, but she does want me to do dancing too. Yep, meditation, ah, okay. Yeah, I meditate every day. Oops. Cool. I haven't gotten a name yet. Well, you don't have to have names. You know, I have them because I get them to do this work that I'm doing with creating spirit guides. But it does help to know if you have a certain, like, the form they come in is often speaking to something that you need. So, like, my ballerina fairy came in because, like, she was telling me that I was taking life too seriously. And, you know, because I did come out of that joy vibration, but I grew up with parents who were very serious. And they had fun, but they, you know, like, you were supposed to do the responsible, practical thing. And I'm not telling people not to do the responsible, practical thing, but it was important that you do that. I didn't even feel like I'm done with the hands, but I got to do this background stuff, so we're going to do it the way I'm being guided to do. Sometimes it's fun just to put down a lot of paint. So I'm going to put down the paint. Whoops. So, Oliver, I don't know if you told me this before. It's possible you did and I just can't remember, but where are you? Are you in the United States? Are you in another country? I'd love to know. I used to have up a little thing that said, give a shout out where you're from, because often you can meet somebody and it wouldn't all fit on there well, so I let it just change it to a sacred art studio, because I want people to get that it's important. Yeah, it's important to have whatever sacred space you need. Thanks. So we are going to add this white paint. I still have to work on the hands more, but I'm getting to put this background stuff in, so I'm gonna do it. Whenever I do like the top part, like I just did, and can't put the canvas down. Oh, okay, I was going to say Saudi Arabia. Where'd you get a name like Olivara? I mean, that might not be your name, it's your sign on, but wow, I've never even been there. How long have you been there? So you're originally from Scotland, so that's cool. Have you been in Saudi Arabia a long time? Oh, wow, 10 years. Yeah, I get a lot of all of our visions of these healing hands, and they're sending like healing energy out. And that's definitely what this is. It's about sending healing energy to everyone who sees them. And, I ask what I should work on when I come. For a while there, I was just doing Archangel Gabriel and the Flying Horse, and I finished him up except for varnishing, but I haven't, this is a vision I had that hasn't told me exactly what the intuitive download is yet, but I just paint it because I'm like, felt like it was time to paint these healing hands. And I'm sure they're gonna, as I create, give me, oh, well, they're kind of coming through now. They're saying that we wanted you to work on us today because we're sending out the healing energy of helping people to heal their consciousness. So Mother of Healing, right there, she sends out healing. Oh, you're fascinated by astrology. Have you probably don't know anything, but have you ever been to a Vedic astrologer? It's a little different than Western astrology. Western astrology usually focuses on like the person's personality. You know, people go, oh, I'm a Virgo, or I am a this, and that means I'm this way. You know, like Virgos are supposed to be fastidious or something, you know, into detail. But Vedic astrology looks at spiritually what's kind of in your astrological chart and what you need to do to grow spiritually. I've done several Vedic astrology readings. Well, I say several. It makes it sound like I've done like a dozen of them, and I haven't done that many. But I've done, was it 2 or 3? I think 3. So many times I've done it. And it's really helped me to see like what I came in with and what would help my spiritual growth. Have you ever heard of that before? Oh yes, Vedic, you know about it. Okay. So yes, your hands have all kinds of healing energy coming through them, whether you know it or not. So it's so true what you put there, Olivario. I always say Olivario because that's the first part, but is that actually your name, or is Jojo your name, or just curiosity? Because I call you Olivarios. Do you want me to call you that, I guess is the question. Oh, I'm going to have to fix that a little bit there. Or would you like me to call you something else, I guess is what I'm asking, since you've been on fairly consistently. So what time is it in Saudi Arabia right now? Because I have no idea what the time difference is. I'm on the East Coast. Wow, so I don't hear too many. Are you a yogi? As far as, since you know about Vedic astrology, usually only yogis know about this. Oh, your name is, oh, Joanna, but I use olive oil in my creams. Oh, okay. So, Joanna, at least now I know your actual name, so I can actually call you that. Of course, I might accidentally call you Olivario the next time I see you, just because I'm so used to calling you that. But Joanna, okay. So are you a yogi since you know about Vedic astrology? Because like I said, usually the only people I know who know about that are people who are yogis, who know stuff about the yoga path. And I lived in a spiritual ashram for like 6 years. So when I lived there is when I used to get the Vedic astrology readings. Oh, it's 11:25 p.m. Okay. I guess you're a late bird, huh? Or do you work late and then you get home? Because I'd probably be sleeping if it was 11:25 here. But I'm grateful that you come on. It's fun to connect with you. And oh, you're on vacation at the moment. Okay. So what, would you normally be asleep now? Because you've been on quite a few times when I've been on live, at least what, 2 or 3 times? So have you been on vacation all that time, or just you found me? And because it's been fun. I always like connecting with different people, especially when they're around the world. It's fun for me, you know. And also, I love to connect with people who are interested in creativity and spirituality. So I'm going to step out for a moment. You'll still hear me, but I'm going to look at how it looks. And I'm going to probably mix in the colors here. I'm going to be on a little bit. Yeah. I'm going to blend it all in. See how it goes. I'm feeling good. Oh, we're just on Thursday in the Middle East. Teaching me something new. I had no idea they had a different work week there. So by the time you come here on Thursday, it's your weekend. So you can stay up late. Since I do this every Thursday. So that would make sense. Because I know I'm like that. I try to go to bed at a regular time, but I can Definitely fall into the, it's the weekend, I want to stay up late. It's more white. So, Joanna, I'm curious, do you have, like, there in Saudi Arabia, I know that it's a bit different there probably than Scotland or here in the States. Do you have some kind of support for your creativity and your spiritual beliefs? Because you're going to be educating me, because I don't really know anything about Saudi Arabia. I mean, I have, obviously, probably preconceived ideas about what it's like there, especially if you're a woman, right? I mean, maybe they're progressive there now compared to what it used to be. So one of the things that Mother of Sincerity is saying to me now that you need to do to unleash your, the creative power is actually create. She's saying it might seem obvious, but she's saying you have to create. So she's talking about, like, she's not missing component is the willingness to heal, but she's saying that you really have to, I'm agnostic. Okay. Wow, I'm surprised that you, well, maybe your definition of it, I used to consider myself agnostic when I was young, because agnostic to me, the definition is that you're questioning that there's a higher power, that, what some people would say it's only of God, but yet you say you talk about your spirit guides. So how do you define agnostic for yourself? Just because on my definition, I wouldn't call you that, because you work with your spirit guides and stuff. So, but I used to call myself that when I was around a teenager, in my 17, 18, because I was always questioning, like, is there a God? I don't know, and now I've come to know that, like, it doesn't really matter what name you call higher power. There's something that we can't explain that exists. Spirit guides, so curious. Yeah, so Mother of Sincerity is saying if you really want to unleash your creative power, you have to be actually creating. So what can you create, Joanna, that the next time you're on, you can share with me what you created? Because part about why I'm doing this that I got from my spirit guides is part of what I'm going to do with my membership, because I'm going to be launching a membership sometime soon here, is about creating the space to help, to support, I should say, support people in doing their creative work, but also having the tools to be successful at it. And, maybe you don't want to make a business out of it, but still successful in whatever way you want to be successful at it, whether it's to be creating consistently, to have your work go out and bless other people, because, there's always, the work that you're supposed to create is important, whatever that work is. because it not only how it helps other people, but it will transform you. And that's the thing that why they're talking about why it's so important for you to create. Okay, you're in sense of knowing, uncovering the truth. But they're saying that it's really important to be creating, not just because you put out art, but because you need to do it for your own growth. It's what opened up all my spiritual gifts of getting visions and things like that was I started creating, combining my spiritual practices with this desire to create spirit guide portals. And then I started having visions. I went from being non-visual to visual, started to be able to tune in and get somebody's spirit guides, to tune in. So that act of just, and I was painting a lot when it happened. It was not just here and there. I was painting like 5 days a week at that time. And I'm not telling you have to do 5 days a week. They're not saying that. That's what I was doing at that time period. And it just woke up something else that I never had, because I was so non-visual. It was like a shock to me when I started getting the visions. I mean, so much so when they first started coming, I'd be like, what's that? Because I was like, this is not me, this doesn't happen to me. So, I'm not sure what you're wowing about, Joanna. I sometimes when I'm, painting and I don't see when the comment comes through, I don't know what you're making reference to. So if you want to tell me what you're making reference to, I'd love to hear it. Because sometimes I'm looking at the canvas and I don't realize that you make a comment. And then I'll be like, oh, what are they wowing about? Because, especially if spirit's like speaking through me and telling me what to say. I mean, I know not right now. Then oh, spirit came to you last night. Okay. And what was that spirit? I'm going to work on this more, but definitely got to work on this more. But, oh, you're writing about the visions. You're really afraid. Yeah, oh, okay, I understand that. Especially if it's your first time. Like I said, when that first happened to me, I was like, what's that? And I had to learn to okay, when I'm meditating, don't go into what's that. Just be with the vision. So I'm going to encourage you, just be with the vision. Whatever's coming to you, just kind of be with it. And trust, because the vision's not going to harm you. No one's there to harm you. So once I got past being afraid of it, then it stopped. I could actually start to get the downloads. That's when I started to get the messages, and I think that's supposed to be there. Because I started to see if you can just be there. And, just sit with the fear. If you sit with the fear, it will become less. It dissipates very quickly. All right. That's the background I was supposed to work on today. We're going to, if you have any questions, Joanna, please feel free to put them in before we're going to wrap this up. I'm going to work more on the hands. What's next week? Oh, yeah, next week's my week of no appointments. I always have a week of no appointments. So at this point, I'm not 100% sure I'm going to be here next week, but keep a lookout, because if I get divine guidance to be on next week, you're going to see it get posted. And I definitely, if not next week, I'll be on the week after that, because I do usually the first three weeks, Thursdays, every Thursday, and then sometimes I take the fourth week off because I get guided not to do it. So I will let you know more about that, and it will be posted if I definitely am going to be on next week. But it's normally the week I take off. But did you have any questions or anything, Joanna, before I sign out here soon? But I love seeing you here. Thank you so much. Thank you to everybody who watches. Let me check in one last time to see if there's anything from Mother of Sincerity that you might need to know or that she wants to guide you on. Well, Mother of Sincerity is not saying anything about Mother of Forgiveness, which is another spirit guide right there. They all wanted to be here in the sacred space. And Mother of Forgiveness is saying that one of the things that helps you heal, because healing is the missing component of unleashing your creative power, is forgiveness. Forgiveness of yourself, forgiveness of the false beliefs, forgiveness of whatever you need to forgive yourself. Because she's saying anything that you're holding on to that you're not forgiving yourself for, like something that you did that maybe you thought was an error in judgment, or that you might call stupid, that you need to forgive yourself, because that energy of not forgiving yourself clogs up the flow. And that it's about, the healing is all about opening up so that you can let the flow come through. And when we have judgments against ourselves, criticisms against ourselves, that the flow can't possibly be as strong as it can be when you're doing that to yourself. So that, to me, I think is one of the most profound things that we need to really listen to. So how did that make you feel, Joanna? Because that's the key. Like when you saw that vision and felt the desk coming down, you want to sense how does it make me feel? And that's the thing about, when people go, when the guidance comes through, what does it mean? And the first thing you want to check into is, well, what does it make you feel? Now, fear might come up because you're not used to it, but when you're first coming to it and you're relaxed in it and you're like, wow, there's this dust. What did you feel then? Not the second moment later after you're like, wow, what was that? But in that moment, because that feeling of what you're sensing is part of the message. Because especially if you're an empath like me, our intuition speaks through our feeling nature. Our intuition, yes, we pick up on other people's emotions, but we also feel, or I should say, receive our intuitive guidance from our feeling nature. And so if you sense, and when I say feeling, I mean what you sense and also those emotions of, if all of a sudden you were feeling totally happy and then all of a sudden you sense something And it could be you're picking it up from another person, but it's still giving you guidance. See, if you're picking up something from somebody, you know, oh, that person's going through something. Okay, so like one of the things as me as an empath, I can usually pick up on a person who's not trustworthy. And because of that, I know I can feel like they're not a good person to do something with. And so you want to pay attention to those feelings. So it made you feel astonished. That could be because it's your first time. It's my very first time doing the show. I was like, what's that? You know, like kind of that I'm astonished feeling of like, what was that? You know, so that's a normal thing that happens just because it was your first time. So just be with it and see if that astonished feeling goes away, because like now I get visions and I'm not astonished. I'm just like I watch the vision, because for me the visions come like moving, almost like a movie where the vision, the spirit guide may be moving, but I keep sitting with it because I'm waiting for what comes through of what the guidance is. Now sometimes the guidance is just go create a spirit guide portal of me, and then it comes through as I'm creating it, of what that message is, of the blessing they're here to give, you and everybody else who wants to work with them. So I hope that was helpful. Yeah. Or you can just ask, well, what is it you're trying to communicate to me? Is there a message? And just be open to like what they have to say, because that's really about, it's that openness and willingness, and receptivity to receive that really makes the difference. So, cool. Well, thank you so much. We'll see you in the next live. All right, blessings. Oh, I'm glad it was helpful. Have a fabulous weekend. Bye-bye.